Hello, so guess what? Nothing in this recording ended up going well. Well, actually, no. So basically, in the recording of the reaction itself, you will not hear me at all. This is because I didn't set up OBS properly. In my utmost legal defense, I don't normally expect Saturdays to be reactions. And I don't think anyone expects Saturdays to be reactions. So, naturally, as a result, I didn't have time to prep. I blame everything. So, what I was going to do was have Marvel Rivals footage be the pre-fight, because I normally have, like, pre-episode things. Except, this is going at 1 frame per second. Brilliant. So, yeah, you're just gonna get to the reaction early. So, have fun with that. But hey, at least I have face cam. You can tell my reactions from that. It's the best you're getting!
Oh god. Here we go.
The tag.
Wait, what do you mean that's a
Here we go.
Alright, we're in it now.
Shigaraki versus Mahito. The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
God, I'm so excited to see
It's our job to analyze their weapons,
my sister
armor, and
gave me
skills to find out who
that
will
as
win
like a joke
death battle.
as like a joke gift.
I just love how freaking Mark is
God.
hanging around there.
was just a sweet,
And I
shy
remember
boy.
seeing
Yeah,
it and I just
superhero.
laughed my
But
ass off.
sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet shy boys. Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his
This
hero
story
hating
still
father,
hurts.
Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk. It
Lives
something
in a
cool like
society.
super strength.
Player.
Killed his whole family. Well, except for dear
Can we
old
talk
Tenko,
about that lives in this
was
society?
intentional. Tenko
We live in a
wandered the streets
society.
alone, silently begging for someone, anyone, to
Who
help him.
does?
If only
Boy,
a
you got that
hero
shit off the
could
camera.
save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged to the devil. Oh, for one, the greatest super villain
God,
in
his story
history.
is
He
so
took
hurt.
that
Tenko
shit
under
off
his
the
wing,
camera.
feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and growing him to one day lead his league of villains.
Wait, is
in
the episode
destroying
actually playing, or
hero
is this
society.
just?
Yeah,
With that
yeah.
came a new name.
Yeah, it's actually
Tomura
playing.
Shigaraki,
Oh,
and an
shit.
absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay.
Okay.
It does what it says on the tin. Anything Shiggy touches with all 5 fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy. Pretty menacing, if not for that dorky-ass costume. I get it, hands are his thing, but come on, they just look so dumb and fake. Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands from his family that he killed. Attached to his face, and explicitly
Stop.
demanded to be left
the
there by
melatonin
his
gummy.
mentor
Orange,
so that he
stop.
would never forget his rage. Okay. While his use of decay
I mean, we're still in
started off
preview
relatively
territory
weak,
right now.
it rapidly increased in power and range.
Yeah,
as
Yeah,
Shigaraki
yeah, I mean, that's
so
fair.
Decay isn't
done,
even
I'm
limited
done.
to whatever he's touching.
Good.
Anything that touches something he's
I would
decaying
have to kill you.
also decays, spreading like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous
Just
tower
decay,
to an entire city.
I've had
If
my
decay
fun.
reaches you, your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital. After years of training with the
Stupid
greatest
schmucks.
supervillain of all time, Shigaraki was finally
He was
put in
another
charge of his
Johnson
own
Johnson.
team with one mission. He must kill his master's rival, the number one
Terminator.
Do
hero,
it.
All Might.
Only
to fall flat on his face. Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well, cringe. Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer
God, yeah,
lingo
I'm
unironically.
Yeah, he's
He
a
whines
fan
like a
user.
baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say
Alright,
normie
new
in
stuff's
real life
happening now.
in front of normies. But they say defeat
New
is
stuff.
the greatest
Like-
teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction. Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well. These two rivals, the inheritors of their master's blood feud, would push themselves past their own limitations. Especially when All Might and All For One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself. And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front. Thousands of new soldiers for his
rocked that
personal
dude.
army. All to impress All For One's personal quack. Dr. Ujiko, who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad. Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough to match and surpass even All Might's
I pray they never say that
Sharing All
again.
Might's power between them,
That was
Deku and
cringe.
Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a
That was
cloud that
actually
reached 2,000 miles into the sky.
wrong,
We've
though.
calculated that before to be nearly 80 million
I mean,
megatons
he's-
of TNT, almost as much as the
mean,
meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch laser beams.
And he's tough enough to survive Star and Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch! Now the new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic Omega Storm. Anyway, it also made a
Whatever
blast so
happened to
big it
Righteous-
showed against the curvature
What about
of the
Righteous
Earth.
Though he might
Indignation?
seem invincible, when Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became, oh shit, more hands!
Shigaraki can
Oh, God.
spontaneously generate flesh into existence, seemingly oceans of it in an instant, whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to
It's
defend
actually
himself in
kind of
close
scary,
combat.
low
But
key.
that's nothing compared to
that's
Ujiko's
some
greatest
body
gift.
horror
Shigaraki
there.
wanted to
That
be
is
the
some
new
actual,
All
like,
for
body
One. So
horror
what
type
better way
shit.
than the old man's quirk?
All for One's quirk, All for One, allows its user to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All for One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul. They exist in this kind of
Okay, they
psychic
called
world
it
of
a piece of their
Shigaraki's
soul.
body, and can even act
Yeah,
as
we're
a
talking
spirit
about
for
vestiges
defense
now.
should it be invaded.
We get
With
into it.
vestiges came quirks
Okay.
like super fast healing, air blasts, radio waves,
Oh, boy.
eyesight, telekinesis,
Many more.
teleportation of others,
Hello.
and the ability to track foes.
He can even
Yes,
combine
okay.
multiple
Oh,
quirks
shit,
together,
hello,
like
Seth.
in this big
Oh,
ass
wait, this
electric
isn't a fit.
Kamehameha.
This is like a
However,
this is
any
an
vestige
Never mind.
stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All for One's vestige, that means All for One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's
I need All for One
entire
dead.
existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tanko's grandmother.
Oh my
Oh, that to mess with All Might. That is some next level hating right there.
He manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone.
Wait.
His spirit decayed by years of venomous hatred.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying All for One's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about. He got a hero who tried to save him.
Oh, that's
His battle is
actually
nothing but
really good.
Yeah.
With Robin Hood
That's
Gold, you can
Oh
now enjoy
my
the
God.
VIP
Can't say the
treatment,
same for how the
including
story
50%
actually-
That was
IRA
absolutely amazing.
Can't say the same for how the story actually turned out.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
loud and clear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
we can,
Hi, Zach.
yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah.
My voice is so low today because my parents are sleeping beside me, dude.
Wow.
I am sneaking in, bro.
Is it just me or is the video frozen?
No, I have it muted.
Because of the
To
yeah,
another Robin Hood
yeah.
ad.
wants to
yeah, because of the ad.
Yeah, that is
That
fair.
makes sense.
We condemn
don't look
crypto
like
in
the
this
person.
household.
Is that Hatsumi Miku?
No, don't put him back on camera.
What
No,
the-
no, 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 no,
Get him
no,
off the
no.
camera.
No.
Okay, thank God.
Back to the video.
Thank God. Thank God.
Blood,
Starting,
man's
starting,
greatest
guys, starting.
fear has been his fellow man.
What the hell?
What if
No?
this fear took on a life of its own?
What if all
That's
that
dope.
negative emotion
shit.
humans felt for one another
My
spilled
God.
from their bodies
It's the
and
tween.
congealed, forming, over time, a living being fueled by malice,
Ew, this
which
is so
believes in nothing but the law of the jungle.
Well, then you'd have the special
With
grade curse with the
Mahito's
patch face,
mangly
Mahito.
toes.
Oh, I bet people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the deadliest beings to ever afflict mankind.
He's also lives in a society.
Live in a society.
Spirits
They
exist,
rescue
weaker or stronger, depending on
We're in a
the
society.
anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears
I'm the same
humans
height.
feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts,
We
cattle,
live in a
or the fear of
society.
smallpox,
No kidding.
Also,
or
after
the fear of
watching,
fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
So it
At
follows
one
that
point,
mankind's
when I
fear
was-
of itself would be extremely
So once I was
powerful.
rewatching
Those negative
Omni-Man
emotions
versus
manifest
Homelander,
as
Look at
Mahito,
that.
a
And I
being
found out that I was
composed of
actually,
cursed
like-
energy.
It's basically like evil
I'm seeing
key.
his height and
Cursed
weight.
energy
I'm
can be
actually
used to make
built
spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than
Identically
any
to
normal
I'm
human.
built
And it's
identically to
invisible,
Homelander.
making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to physical damage. They may be physically present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex. That's why you need a jujutsu sorcerer to come in and zap the shit out of them. They call it
I thought we were
exorcism,
done with the
but I like
boomsticks
the way I said it
ex-wife
better.
joke.
Curses and sorcerers have battled each other for millennia.
I mean,
waging
at least it
endless
was
war
just
over
one
fate.
throwaway line.
Almost
Yeah.
exclusively in Japan, though, for some reason.
But Mahito was special. You see, most
But
curses are
Mahito's
basically
like-
dumb animals. But Mahito has so much cursed energy that
gee,
it
the
gave
big
him
girl.
sentience.
So he
I
was
missed
recruited
her.
by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses to wreak havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
And even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust,
Ew.
Mahito
is
possessed
still the strongest.
philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also
Oh, not
makes
that
him kind of a
type of thing
goofball.
again, dude.
If nothing
I
matters,
remember
why
watching
not
this
have fun
in,
with the
like,
slaughter? Really
like
get
first
your
watching
steps in.
JJK.
He loves to
I
dig around
was
and
shocked,
toy with your
dude.
emotions like a
Goes
cartoon
in there,
character
I hate
before.
Abbott and Wonder, like,
An appropriate analogy considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy,
my
Mahito
gosh.
can control
That's
anyone's
again.
soul with just a touch,
It confuses my
including
brain
his
a lot
own.
of it.
In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own
Answer's gonna
soul
be
that you
thrown.
can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into literally anything he wants, like Play-Doh. He can turn his limbs into blades or clubs, grow wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clothes.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly fatal.
And since
Not
he's
the human
attacking your
sword.
soul, those physical wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Oh my
Even
god,
if
that's
his
my goal.
alteration isn't
My goal.
directly fatal, the
That's
human
the
body
friend,
won't
though.
last more than a few
Watch him
moments
again,
in a
bro.
transfigured state.
I
All
too
that
like
with
tall
one
women
touch.
with big
God, I
asses.
thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean Mahito
my
treats
God.
humans as effectively
That's-
You know, just like
disposable
Jennifer Lawrence.
dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the
JJK
better,
references.
especially if he gets to break your spirit first and
I will not
watch you
forgive
suffer.
him for what he
Even
did
more
to my
twisted is when
glorious
he
blonde
combines two
king.
transfigured humans together for soul multiplicity, essentially a
Oh,
giant
that's
torrent
what it
of
is.
body horror flesh that he repels at an opponent. Yeah.
Mahito is
Chaotic
unbelievably
motherfucker.
creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different
God,
curse
he's
techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a
I actually
mother,
forgot about
it
that.
restores overpowers your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes moving nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. It's no surprise then that Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the Domain Expansion.
Oh shit!
Domain
More
expansion.
hands! A domain is like a barrier of cursed energy, but if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idle transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection, the ultimate expression of Mahito's absolute control over his victim's body and soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji
I
a
don't.
barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him.
The king of curses,
King
Sukuna.
of
Which
curses.
meant Mahito's ability affected both souls
You
in
are my
Yuji's body.
special.
Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's ass, forcing Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face
I
of
really
the
wish
world that
they'd
Mahito
show
knew
footage
to
of
be
him
cruel
getting
and
fucking
mean.
jumped.
So he made it his mission to crush Yuji's
crashing
spirit
out
before
on the
killing him,
ground.
They will in the
murdering his
conclusion.
friends, defiling their corpses, and
Maybe.
brutally battering him before going in for the kill.
And he's got the strength to do it. Mahito's one of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is
In the world?
exponential.
Fellow
In the
disaster
world, you
curse
say?
Jogo was able
I
to summon a
heard of that.
massive
There's the
meteor
meteor.
capable of reducing the city of Shibuya to ash.
That'd take an energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito can take as good as he can
That's
give,
no go.
especially when in the throes of struggle against
There's the clip.
he
There's the clip of him getting jumped.
a vastly
Let's
more
go,
powerful
chat.
form, the instant body of distorted killing.
Complete with armored exoskeleton and arm blades, this was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into. A true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve, Yuji won out.
And then
a
the-
dog-eat-dog world
It was just
now
instantly said it would not
So he
last.
tucked tail and ran away like a
Well, I
bitch.
mean, yeah, it didn't
What
last.
do you
That little
know?
song.
Life suddenly became a whole lot more meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
all that gleeful nihilism, just a bitter hypocrisy in the end.
For
That-
him, maybe,
that gave him
but
an over.
Mahito found a convert in his
Oh, no.
archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of
Ooh.
innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of
Yes,
another human being's
finally.
soul. He may not have been around to see it,
See
but
this
the
action,
curse
I think.
Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
God, these are
Hey,
awesome.
you see that join button? Yeah, that one. That's your ticket to being a death battle
It
champion.
started?
As a champion,
Oh, wait.
you get all sorts of exclusive death
Oh,
battle
my
content,
God.
like extra videos,
kinda
live
nervous.
chats,
Oh
my
and
God,
sending
my
us
heart's
your own
kind of
matchup
pounding
ideas.
right now.
And the support helps us make
Oh, God.
death battle. So thank
We're
you
gonna
for
watch
being
the Tomorrow animation. This is goated.
Come on, Jiggy, let's do this.
All
right, now it's time, it's time, it's time.
Okay,
let's go.
Intermission over.
It was a knock in.
It's time
Knock in.
for
Yeah.
death
Knock in.
Here we go.
battle!
Here we go.
Shigaraki is gonna be winning right now.
There's the train scene.
Oh, I think he's dead. I think they're dead.
We're all dead.
I think they're dying.
I think they're dying, yo. Yo, are they dying?
Oh, this is both the
Oh,
shot.
hello there.
I'd heard of a
Oh my God, he can
powerful
see
villain
it.
stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring up your head instead?
Animation.
Fine by me.
There's no
Let's call this your audition. Sicko.
Gamers don't
signal up there.
I don't know, dude.
I was looking at his phone like an iPad baby. I cannot. Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Game over.
Game over reference?
Did you actually
They're
just see that?
fucking dead.
What the fuck?
Ah, that squall. That squall.
That's funny.
Ah, this is so good.
Wow.
You know they really should kiss.
And the battle.
Audition over. Did I get the part?
Gotta say, the match is really good.
Oh my god! It really is. This is so good.
What a rush!
Oh shit.
Oh my god!
Oh my god. The animation is so far down, what the hell?
Domain expansion.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, we're going domain expansion now.
That's the case. Come on.
Oh my so good. So good.
Oh, this is really, really good.
This is going to be top 10.
Wants to make everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Let's go. Yes.
Racial global.
Yes.
I felt your soul.
The trap, guys, the
You
trap.
only hate humanity
Are they
because
gonna
you
recreate
were
it?
born that way.
Run like a bitch.
He's running.
For a reason.
Yes.
You grow up.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that ending shot.
Oh, that was so good.
With their complex powers,
That was so good.
which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical
This is
stats,
so
survivability, and their powers.
But first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different. Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular
That was
humans
amazing.
have the ability to see curses in
That
life
was
and death
incredible.
scenarios.
Guys,
And with the surge
Oh, dude.
Shigaraki would have had no problem traveling.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
Despite the disaster curses
Royal
being able to
always
destroy
cooks.
entire cities
What can you
with
say?
cursed energy,
That was so cool.
That man knows how to cook.
meant he was calculating millions of times stronger.
He was faster too,
How Shigaraki
considering
told
he could react
Mahito
to
to
light
grow up.
beams, while Mahito's
Except
black
he didn't
flash
even
kept
give
out
him
an
the
area
chance.
1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to stop
I mean,
at,
Mahito
but
is like
Shiggy was
few
thousands
months
of
old.
times
He's
faster.
technically a
Shigaraki takes stats.
I mean, he
But
needs to grow up.
survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in
what's the
terms
funny
of
part
raw
about that line
durability,
is that-
Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh
I
meant that
don't-
he
wait,
could heal any
actually,
wounds he might
that's
receive
really
super
about
easy.
the-
However, Mahito is a curse and is
Don't
immune to the
you
kind of
couldn't
overwhelming
pull him-
physical damage
that's
Shigaraki
the
could
only
dish out.
possible-
Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idle transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a
They made him
crucial
purple.
question. Could Shigaraki even
Although-
kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's unkillability give him the time he needed to eventually put Shiggy down with idle transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more
Yeah,
variety
Shigaraki
with
takes
all of
this.
the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years. But
Yes,
none that
Cindy
we
goes
know
so
of
hard.
could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either, though.
Of all
I
things,
friggin' knew it.
Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idle transfiguration. The
vestiges.
fact that Mahito could not avoid
here's-
targeting Sukuna
never-
while attacking Yuji
He even
meant that he couldn't target
says that he's
specific
survived
targets
attacks that
inside a
target the soul.
He has hundreds of soul-like
So
entities
you know what this
inside of
means,
him.
Mo?
Sure, each
Moral
one
of the
down
story,
means he
just
loses
don't
a
be a
quirk,
one-for-all
but
user.
that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage
Guys,
Deku's
freaking
vestige
stuck with
and
that, like,
have that
wait,
damage
Mahito's
transferred to
screwed then.
Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical form. In fact,
They
sorcerers
didn't
that
even
couldn't
need to use
naturally target
freaking
the
rules
soul
they gave for
were able
Gojo
to
for
fight him
smacking
on
that
even
god.
footing. No reason to think Shiggy wouldn't decay him like everyone else.
Giving Shigaraki the third and final edge.
Oh,
It
that
was
was
a unique
so
duel to
good.
death, but
So
Shigaraki's
cute.
overwhelming might,
Oh my
unstoppable
God, so
powers,
cute.
and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster.
Oh, I'm
curse.
excited for what's
Nothing else
next.
to say. You
So
really
what do you-
gotta hand it
he
to
really
Shigaraki.
wants
The winner
Luzanne?
is Tomura
And it's
Shigaraki.
Next time,
Alright, it's time. It's next time.
What's the next time? What is it?
Next time.
What is that?
This.
Wait, what is it?
It's 3 months.
Subscribe and join in to see more Death Battle.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Already?
Dude, hell yeah.
That's goaded.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who knows, maybe
Well,
Moro
I
could
think
hit
that's
us up on
probably
Twitter. Could hit us with it on Twitter.
Is that Hatsune Miku?
It's Miku.
Sorry, Crystal, what did you say?
I was just saying they could have kissed and made up, and then the fight would be over.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah, that-
And they have,
We just gotta wait till Moro posts it out on Twitter.
Gone if I want to see makeout sessions.
what the heck is
We
Ethan
gotta wait for
doing?
Moro to make it.
Don't worry, we have to wait till Moro does it.
Moro,
Post it
Don't
on Twitter.
worry, Moro's goaded. He's gonna do it, chat.
Please
He
tell me.
made 2 alt animations for Eggman vs. Bowser. He can make the makeout session.
He
Oh my
can.
Alright.
What
Now,
are
how long was this fight?
point
Starts at
not right now.
16:53.
Miku says, "Take your melatonin.
What's Miku doing with the melatonin gummies?
Take your fucking."
Oh no, he's gonna be on like a
What the hell
light.
is Ethan doing?
Yeah, what is he doing, chat?
What is
I
he?
think he's...
3 minutes.
What the
3
hell?
minutes
What-
and
what was
4
that?
seconds, roughly.
What was that?
He's
I
gonna
think
appear
you
on the
jumped-
ceiling, guys. Trust.
Is he going to be
Watch.
Spider-Man?
He's coming through my ceiling again. He's coming through my ceiling again, chat.
I'm under your walls.
I'm going to
the
jump
episode
him
now
like
taking the throne
Shigaraki.
back in place.
I
What's
just
any music?
realized
What's this?
What is it?
we're in the
What's it?
Another
wrong voice
Luzanne track.
channel.
Okay.
Wait,
No, I
what?
was gonna suggest moving
Oh my
to like
god,
the
we're in the
other
wrong
channel.
voice.
Yeah.
Like,
We're in the wrong voice
um,
channel. Move. Ethan, we could just edit that out. No one needs to know that we fucked up.